Anything else that? Yeah, let me alone, and I will destroy them and blot out their name from under heaven. And really, I mean, he's ready to give us the same treatment that he's telling us to put on the Canaanites. God really wanted to exterminate and annihilate the Jews. And I will make a nation far more numerous than they.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just really struck by that this was he was ready to give us the Canaanite treatment.
Yeah, and he says that you'll be kicked out of the land if you don't observe these commandments, just like they were kicked out of the land. So
right.
God has created one place that he wants holiness in particular. It's the Holy Land, and unless you live up to these holy demands, everyone's going to get kicked out.
Right. So
so if you don't want to be holy, move to Beverly Hills.
Right. So this is what happened. But at least he didn't blot out our name from under heaven.
Right. It's interesting, chapter 9, verse 6, the commentary in our scroll on for you're a stiff-necked people. Stubbornness is usually incompatible with righteousness and uprightness, because a stubborn person will not listen to reason even when his conduct is wrong. It's interesting how we all correlate stiff neck with stubbornness. That if you stiffen your neck, that it will correlate with a stiffening of your belief system.
We don't all make that association, but certainly it's made here,
mm-hmm.
and it was made by the great F.M. Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Stubbornness, kind of ideological stubbornness, is associated with the stiff neck. It really
mm-hmm.
is perfectly consistent with the Alexander technique. I had always thought stiff-necked was, a sort of a metaphor, but perhaps not. Anything else we should...
And we're now opening up the lines to take requests for commentary. So go ahead and type into the chat room where you'd like some spiritual enlightenment. Because I do sense a certain slowing of the Torah talk.
We're out of juice and material. So
yeah, unless someone can provoke us. Okay, oral sex is not part of the Almighty's plan for the Jews because it is non-procreative.
Judaism is not. Who said that?
Amalek, yeah.
That's very Christian of you. Judaism has a much wider view of sex than just as a vehicle to procreation. It's recognized and embraced as a source of pleasure in and of itself. Isn't that right, Luke?
Yeah. So chapter 9, verse 19, the Ascroll commentaries, you shall love the convert. Convert is included in the commandment to love one's fellow Jew. God's love for the convert is especially great. Voluntarily accepted upon himself the yoke of the commandments.
The convert, where's this? 919?
The commentary. So if converts are so great, how come people in Orthodox Judaism don't want to marry them?
Right. Well,
if God loves them so much, you'd think you'd want to marry your daughter after one.
You think it would be
even
a bonus.
If he used to write a blog on the porn industry.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of prejudice against converts in the Orthodox Jewish community, I think.
Amalek contends that a good Jew reserves his oral energies for reading from his Gemara.
Fair enough.
I have to say that I've been treated as I deserve in Orthodox Judaism, and so I think converts who live up to their obligations, generally speaking, get treated fairly. But if there's a doubt, you may not get the benefit of the doubt.
Right, you don't get people, and people are looking for signs of failure in you where they might not for others.
Yeah, and also you don't have family. So in regular Jewish life, if you're a screw up, people know your parents and your brothers and sisters who are good people, and they try to help you back on the derrick and help you get back on your feet after you relapse into pornography. But if you don't have family, if you're just this lone convert, then people don't feel as connected to you or as concerned about you. They don't have the, they didn't know you since you were a little tiny.
Right.
They didn't teach you Torah. They didn't have you over for Pesach when you were 7 years old and 17, and they didn't help you through those three drug rehabs, in your teens and early 20s.
Right.
They haven't invested in you.
Yeah.
So now you just show up on your door and you got this wacky blog, and
they don't know what to make of you.
Yeah.
And do you think that, because you would like to be matched up with a nice Jewess?
Yeah, I would.
And do you think that's going to happen?
I think it might.
But do you think the community will facilitate that, or do you think you're going to have to do it on your own?
I think they could if I fly straight.
Yeah.
Live my life on a high plane and not spend so much of Torah talk talking about bestiality. I find that kind of hinders my marital prospects in Orthodox community. It's really weird. A lot of Orthodox Jews are totally skeeved out with public discussions
of bestiality,
particularly of a humorous,
sarcastic approach. But Judaism is big on bestiality. It's a big issue in Judaism. It's worth talking about, if only to prevent it from happening.
Yeah. How can you prevent it?
Unless you're willing to have an open discussion about its temptations.
Yeah. Would you be willing to marry a convert, Jerry?
Yes. Yes, I certainly would. That wouldn't be a barrier. If I get married again, that certainly wouldn't be a... Actually, my concern about marrying a convert would be that she would be too...
religious.
She would be maybe more religious than I could handle. That would be my only concern. And if I were marrying a non-Jew, I certainly wouldn't.
Could you marry a Christian? Someone who went to church every week? If she was really hot?
I think I probably could, as long as she wasn't hung up on my converting to her faith. But I don't know, if she was a really strong believer, that might cause some friction. Not because it would bother me, just because there might be some incompatibility of worldviews there. But I don't know. If it worked, I'd go for it.
So Amalek says, I need to find one of those Jewesses who hates dating Jewish guys, get her to fall in love with me, and then on my wedding day let her know that I am Jewish.
Why?
That would be totally a recipe for marital happiness.
Yeah. Why do you have to do that?
And she couldn't tell, during the year that we were dating.
Yeah, she had no clue.
She had no clue that I was Jewish.
Well, what would be the benefit of doing that, Chaim? I don't see it.
It's truly a perverse mind. A hot Christian versus a homely Jewess, which would you choose?
A hot Christian. I'm really not. Traditionally, the women I've kind of fallen for have been either Jewish or had one parent who was Jewish, but I don't have any ideological attachment to marrying a Jew. I couldn't care less.
And we've kind of come to the end of Torah Talk with kind of a whimper.
We kind of petered out here with Porsche Eikev. I don't know if this has done anything for your prospects, for your marital prospects.
I just not mention this at Shul and Shabbos.
Yeah. I'll have to come up with more talking points next time.
Yeah. I think we'll go easy on the bestiality next Torah portion. It's Pashas Ra'eh. So
next week is Ra'eh.
There's always next week. It's kind of like spring training every week. There's always hope.
Right.
Hope springs anew.
Right. But is there there are injunctions against bestiality in Deuteronomy.
But people think you're weird when you talk about it a lot on Torah Talk. It's
well, but what if the Torah is concerned about it. Why can't we be concerned about it?
Yeah, but it's we shouldn't enjoy
discussion. Right.
We shouldn't enjoy being concerned about it.
Yeah. Okay. So less bestiality. Our goal is to get Luke married off by the community.
Yeah.
To a nice Jewess.
Amalek says if we brought in Rabbi Ali, we'd be rocking it right now.
Yeah.
Well, this is another inspiring Torah talk from your friends Levi and Joey.